morning, everyone. I'm glad we get to spend this time together, and I'm continuing in my study of 1 Peter. And the first verse says, of 1 Peter, it's 1:1, Peter, an apostle of Jesus Christ. And I thought, apostle of Jesus Christ. I want to write down what apostle means. So in my study, I looked up apostle, and it says messengers, a term applied generally, but not exclusively in the New Testament, to the 12 men chosen by Christ to learn of him and then to bear witness of him to the world. And I put a note from myself on here. It says, I need to learn from Jesus, then bear witness too. So I thought, well, let's see and go further on this study and learn more about actually who Peter is. So that's when I looked up in several things, and I found and I made this list. The first thing on here, it says 1 Peter 1:1, which we just read, is an apostle. And this was mentioned first he was mentioned first in the list of the apostles in the Gospels in every time. And I thought, well, that is something to think about. He was mentioned first. So the first reference, and I've marked all the references so that it's easier for me to turn quickly and not make you wait, is in 1:1. And that one there says, Matthew 1:1. It's Matthew 10:2-4. I'm crazy today, sorry. And it says, now the names of the 12 apostles are these. First, Simon, and it emphasizes the first, Simon, who is called Peter, and Andrew his brother, James the son of Zebedee, and John his brother. Let's see, Philip and Bartholomew, Thomas and Matthew the publicans, James the son of Alphaeus, and Lebbaeus, whose surname was Thaddeus, Simon the Canaanite, and Judas Iscariot, who also betrayed him. So it also goes to Mark. Let's get it. I find my number 2. And it says in Mark 3:16-19, and there it again. And Simon, he surnamed Peter, and it goes right down the list exactly the same. So then I went to Luke, where it says the same thing, references Luke, in Luke 6:14-16, and it says Simon, he also named Peter, and it goes right down the list in order again. So I thought, well, this isn't amazing. So then it also mentioned Acts 1:13, which says, let me get my thing off of there. Let me get this so you guys can follow along. Hopefully you can see it. And when they were come in, they went into the upper room and abode both Peter and James and John and Andrew, and he goes on and names them in order again. And I just thought Peter is always mentioned first in all the passages that I found. And I thought that was an interesting fact I thought I'd share. The next thing, it says Peter, James, and John were with Jesus on several key occasions. And I thought, okay, on the Mount of Transfiguration. And that's found in Matthew 17:1-13. And that is number 5. Let me find my number 5. Here it is. And Matthew 5:17, 1 through 13. And for those who don't know this, I'll read it, but if you want to zoom ahead to the next thing, for those who know this. And after 6 days, Jesus took Peter, he's named first again, James and John his brother, and bringeth them up into a high mountain apart, and was transfigured before them, and his face did shine as the sun, and his raiment was white as light. And behold, there appeared unto them Moses and Elias talking with him. Right there, that had to have been so amazing and wonderful, and I think I would just be kind of frozen in a stare of, oh my goodness, this is amazing. Then answered Peter and said unto Jesus, Lord, it is good for us to be here. If thou wilt, let us make here 3 tabernacles, one for thee, and one for Moses, and one for Elias. While he yet spake, behold, a bright cloud overshadowed them, and behold, a voice out of the cloud, which said, This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. Hear ye him. And when the disciples heard it, they fell on their face and were sore afraid. That probably would set me aback too, huh? And Jesus came and touched them and said, Arise, and be not afraid. And when they had lifted up their eyes, they saw no man save Jesus only. And as they came down from the mountain, Jesus charged them, saying, Tell the vision to no man until the Son of Man be risen again from the dead. And his disciples asked him, saying, Why then say the scribes that Elias must first come? And Jesus answered and said unto them, Elias truly shall come first, and restore all things. But I say unto you that Elias is come already, and they knew him not, but have done unto him whatsoever they listed. Likewise shall the Son of Man suffer of them. Then the disciples understood that he spoke unto them of John the Baptist. And then the second occasion that it was Peter, James, and John, it's in the Garden of Gethsemane, and that's found in Mark 14:33 and 34, and it's my number 6 here. So let's turn there. And Mark 14:33, right there, through 34. And he taketh with him Peter and James and John, and began to be sore amazed, and to be very heavy, and saith unto them, My soul is exceedingly sorrowful unto death. Tarry here and watch. They were privileged, very privileged, to get to go aside with Jesus on special things. And I'm thinking, what an honor they must have felt to be set aside like this on special things with Jesus. Peter was mentioned at John's baptism in John 1:40 to 42, and that's my number 7. Yes, we're almost through. John 1:40 to 42. So I'm going to get this out of there. One of the two which heard John speak and followed him was Andrew, Simon Peter's brother. And the first findeth him, he first findeth his own brother Simon, and saith unto him, we have found the Messiah, which is being interpreted the Christ. And he brought him to Jesus, and when Jesus beheld, he said, Thou art Simon, the son of Jonah. Thou shalt be called Cephas, which is interpreted a stone. And I thought, this shows me, again, as in other places, Jesus knows us. He knows us inside, outside. And just like my verse for the month, this month, he even knows how many hairs are on our head. What an honor to get to speak to him and have him speak directly. And then I thought, he speaks to me through his word all the time. And Jesus renamed him Cephas, which means a stone. Peter's natural name was Simon. His new name from Jesus was Peter, which in Greek is Cephas. Matthew 16:18, number 8, and here it is. Matthew 16:18, right here, and it's red, so it's Jesus, says, And I say also unto thee, that thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. And remember, all of us who are saved are part of Jesus' church. And when we become part of Jesus' church, the gates of hell shall not prevail against us, because Jesus has got us. All right, another fact about Peter I found out, Peter had a wife. Matthew 8:14. Here we go, number 9. We're almost done. Matthew 8:14 says, And when Jesus was come unto Peter's house, he saw his wife's mother laid and sick of a fever. So we know Peter had a wife. And Peter was partners with James and John. This is the last fact I found out. There's probably more that I just didn't find out yet, but I thought I'd share these. So the last one was Matthew 5:10, and it says, And so was also James and John, the sons of Zebedee, which were partners with Simon. And Jesus said unto Simon, Fear not, for henceforth thou shalt catch men. And I thought, yes, and Simon Peter, went out and did for the Lord. And he did things to kind of reel people in, to make them understand and see, open their eyes so they could see Jesus. I don't think I see any place in God's word that Peter puts himself first. He puts Jesus first. So that's probably why Jesus depended on him, or trusted him. Trusted him is a better word. Trusted Peter to do the job that he set forward to him. And a lot of us know the song from Sunday school, God will make you fishers of men. That's what this is talking about. We should go out like Peter and follow Peter's example of putting Jesus first in our life, telling others about Jesus, showing Jesus in our lives and how important he is to us. Well, that's all for today. And I thought this was a fun thing that I learned about Peter, and I thought I'd share. Well, I hope you're doing your study in Peter as well. Share below in comments and tell me what you've learned. What was brought out and made your heart happy. Well, that's it for now. Thank you. I'm glad you got to join us. Bye-bye.